Good morning. It's Wednesday, March the 11th, and this is The Drill. Thank you very much. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. I created this podcast to answer the question most asked by conservatives, namely, what can I do? My podcast is short, approximately 5 to 10 minutes long, because shorter podcasts are easier to download and listen to, and shorter podcasts force me to get to the point. I've been listening to conservative talk radio since '89. I've grown up in a socialist household, and I've seen the destructive effects of socialism up close and personal. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. Today, what can I do? Tweet of the day, Hugh Hewitt doesn't know his audience, and defeating a lefty at Panda Express. All that when I come back. Thank you. What can I do? Be judgmental. Be critical, especially when it comes to other conservatives. You can be judgmental and critical because being conservative means something. Let me try that again. You can be judgmental and critical because being conservative means something. When you are reading or listening to a conservative, listen or read with a critical eye or ear. Take Ayn Rand's advice and listen to yourself. Listen to the little voice in your head that tells you when something is wrong. Don't discount that little voice. Don't dismiss that voice. Take the time to figure out what it is that is disturbing you. It may take you days, weeks, or even months to figure it out, but don't be intimidated. Stick with it. The results are worth it. The flip side to this is listen to criticism. True conservatives have nothing to fear, especially when it comes to criticism. We want to learn. We want to know. One of the ways that we come to learn and know is through criticism. The only caveat to this is to know the difference between criticism and ridicule, slander, or libel. Nobody needs to put up with that. When I come back, the tweet of the day. Thank you. Tweet of the day from President Trump. Quote, "Thank you, Jim Inhofe, for your incredible support of our MAGA agenda. You are a tremendous senator for the people of the great state of Oklahoma, and you have my complete and total endorsement." Unquote. Next up, Hugh Hewitt doesn't know. Thank you. I was listening to Hugh Hewitt last week as he was taking calls from listeners. The question of the day was, quote, "Why do you listen to talk radio in general and my show in particular," unquote. This is a stunning admission by Mr. Hewitt. The first rule of communication is to know your audience. I listen to talk radio in general to learn. I want to learn what not to say, what not to do. I listen to the Hugh Hewitt show to hear Hugh Hewitt. Hugh Hewitt has the smoothest delivery in talk radio. No one can match him. The content of his show, however, leaves lots to be desired. First, he spends very little time on the air himself, preferring to use callers, guests, and clips as avatars. Second, his content is shallow, short on definition, evidence, proof, and conclusion. He could solve all of these problems with a dose of introspection. Next up, victory at Panda Express. Thank you very much. The left wants to influence and eventually dominate our culture. One of the ways that they do that is by the use of trigger words and slogans. A trigger word or phrase is a word or phrase that elicits an immediate emotional reaction. The latest trigger word is boss. I frequently am called boss by people that I don't know and have never met. This rudeness is visited upon me most frequently at restaurants by young men 18 to 25 years old that are employees at the restaurant. So it's not only rude, but bad business as well. It is an awkward situation because I'm on someone else's property and in public. Since I count and I matter, I need to confront and discourage this kind of behavior, but make the confrontation without making a scene. The best thing for me to do in this situation is to use the correct or polite term, sir. I went into a Panda Express yesterday and the young man behind the counter asked me, "Hey, boss, how can I help you?" I said, "Hello, sir. How are you, sir? Are you having a nice day, sir?" I then gave him my order. He got the message and quit calling me boss immediately. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Victory. Victory for me and every other conservative in the country. Back in a minute. Who is the true conservative? He is the person that understands that conservatism is not just about politics, but culture as well. He is not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He is patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He's consistent, credible, and influential. Not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He's a normal American, and he's better than the socialist. He's a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you're wasting your time. That brings me to the end of another episode of The Drill. Remember that the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win.